Time is 4 p.m. This Mayor and Council work session is called to order. Call the roll, please, Mr. O'Brien.
Mayor Logsdon.
Present.
Commissioner Carter. Here. Commissioner Forsyth.
Here.
Commissioner Grove.
Here.
Commissioner Ritchie.
Here.
All right, we're all here. We'll move straight into topics for next week's council meeting. So item 3A is the girls track and field team from Mountain Ridge won the state championship. We all know. A couple weeks ago, it was actually on Memorial Day, was the final day. So they've been invited to the council meeting next week to receive a citation from the city. I talked to the coach. He said he's going to get as many of them here as they can. Tomorrow's the last day of school, so once they go into summer mode, they probably won't all be here, but he'll get as many of them as they can. So just be prepared for that. Item B is a proclamation for the 250th.
So we'll be doing a proclamation for July 4th for the 250th at the council meeting. I'm working on developing it with some language from some historical things and items like that. So if there's anything you want included, please just reach out to me and I'll make sure.
So was it Elizabeth from the museum, or who was it that dug it up?
So we do have a proclamation from 150 years ago that the mayor did. That was pretty neat, which basically said, we want everybody to have fun, don't go crazy.
Right. Essentially.
Remember where you can and can't shoot off firearms and things like that. So,
Firearms, no fireworks, firearms.
But it's in very Victorian era language, and there's a lot of religious reference to it. So we're gonna make it 2026 appropriate, but kind of the same thing.
But we may share that on the website.
Yeah.
So we've got that. Next is item 3C, the Green Team, 10 years.
It's a resolution for recommitment of the Green Team for their 10th anniversary.
Got a plaque.
Plaque.
Got the Sustainable Maryland, the original one we got when we got our first certification, and then we have a new one, right?
Yes,
Oh,
it's coming. Fingers crossed, it's in engraving, so hopefully it'll be, I just emailed them today.
Well, they have 2 extra days next week.
Yeah.
That's what I told them, I need it by the 18th. So.
We're good on that? All right, next is item D, an appointment to the Historic District Commission.
Reappointment of Joe Huffman, Ms. Hine. I can't think of her
Dawn.
first name. Dawn, yes. They both accepted.
Okay, they've been contacted and accepted. You're good with them? Okay. Pretty easy. Item 3E, this is the annual Department of Planning report. This is you too.
Yeah, we'll read it in full or summarize it at the meeting.
This is just to be approved and accepted by council in order to be submitted.
Is there anything that's going to make my eyebrows go up and down? No.
That's pretty straightforward.
Okay.
I think it's pretty cut and dry.
Okay. Next is the recently adopted smoke detector requirements and the enforcement mechanism.
My apologies. One thing we did not discuss was the implementation of that. We have talked and thought it'd be best we went July 1st, 2027 to give people time to,
Okay.
Oh, the date for that.
for them
To
to
bring in full compliance.
bring it into full compliance,
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
Once
And-
that's passed, we'll send out an email and let everybody know what's going
So
on.
the inspections that are happening now, they're being notified that they need to bring them to compliance, but we're giving them
Correct.
that period to do it.
Correct. And anybody
We need
that's,
to do a resolution to have an official stay.
we have to do a resolution to make it
I see.
official.
I see.
Okay.
So,
Okay. All right. Next, John, you get a break. Looks like we're talking about healthcare next.
Yes, one of the things we offered the employees this year was a flexible spending account if they weren't eligible for the HSA, the health savings account. And we are required to pass a resolution regarding that. I'm waiting on language for the template, but we'll have it for you for Thursday.
Okay. And the conversation we had before about this, there was no cost or anything on our end.
It's minimal.
Yeah.
The minimum monthly fee is $50.
For everyone. not
For
one person.
everyone.
Total, not
Yeah.
per participant.
No,
Okay.
per participant, it would be $4 per participant up to, so if you have less than 5 people, it would be $50. Once you get to 5 people, it's
I got you.
$4 per person,
I got you.
or something like that.
Okay. All right, so we need a resolution to make that official. Okay. Anything else on any of these topics that we've very quickly discussed in 4 minutes? We're crushing it. All right, moving on then to general discussion items, the swearing in of the new council.
So once we have all the finalized numbers, I'll reach out to those that have been elected, but we are aiming to do it on Thursday, July 9th, at 5:30 p.m. So the process would be is that this council would call the meeting to order, sign the die, and then Ms. Lindsay would swear in the mayor, and then the mayor would swear in the new commission, all the commissioners.
Is that before or after the work session?
It is before.
Okay.
So,
In July, I think it's as late as it can be. The work session is the 13th or 14th.
Okay, that's fine.
yeah, let me double check the date, because we had to change it a couple times. Because Ms. Lindsay wasn't available for yeah, so the 9th is what we're aiming for.
All right, so that's the tentative date pending confirmation with the new people that are elected and everything.
Yes.
Okay. All right, item 4B, any new staffing updates?
Chief, did you want to talk about your
Sure,
team
yeah.
of new individuals?
Yes, I'd be glad to, thank you. I've mentioned in the past that our cadet, Peyton Ritchie, is ready to go to the academy. We also have, it's preliminary, but potentially 4 viable candidates, 2 of which could go to the academy, 2 of which have some prior police experience. We have additional preliminary background investigations and interviews to do, but at this stage, we may have 5 viable
How many,
applicants. So
how many vacant seats, or vacant positions do we have?
we have 3 right now.
Okay.
We anticipate 1 individual to go to another department by the end of July, probably.
Okay,
So that ultimately we'll have 4 vacancies.
so
to
including
fill.
yourself, we're at 10 right now?
I think, okay, we are at 11 right now,
11.
but Lieutenant Sykes is on medical administrative duty.
Uh-huh.
So 10, yes, I think 10 sworn performing law enforcement duties.
Okay.
And 3 vacant positions.
Okay. Got you.
So I take that as very positive. Sometimes, we do applicant pools and we get very strong or very large applicant pools. Other times, very weak or very small pools. And we're very fortunate this time we have a strong pool of viable applicants at this stage.
Okay.
And then John, do you want to talk about the rental housing coordinator?
Autumn starts on the 15th. She's coming to us from State's Attorney's Office in Oakland.
Okay.
So she has some government background.
So the 15th is this Monday coming?
Yes,
Yeah.
pretty
Okay.
strong government background, hands-on. So.
Good. Any other departments with new staff?
Does she live in Oakland?
No, no, no.
Grantsville, just right up the road there.
So not as far to go.
And she actually is from, she grew up here. She went to Delhi. I remember. She's a year or 2 years younger than I am, but I remember in school. She's a good person.
Evans.
So when you said Peyton's ready for the academy. When does he leave?
Yes, sir. So it is July 7th, I believe, is the date that it starts.
Okay.
So, yeah, right around the corner
That's
now.
the one in Hagerstown.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yep.
The goal would be to get all the eligible candidates to go to that one, because the Sykesville one isn't until, I think, like March or April.
Yes, yes,
Wow.
sir. So, yeah, so
It's up to
potentially, if we send any more, 1 more or 2 more to the academy, bearing in mind 2 would have to go to the academy, 2 have some prior police experience. It depends who kind of prevails on the hiring process. But yeah, Lieutenant Seitz will have to work very quickly on backgrounds, but he can get it done. And the folks who do like the voice dress exam and the psychological exam, they have turned them around very quickly for us. Sometimes we used to have to wait a long time till they could schedule them in, but that's not been an issue for a long time. So.
When's the absolute deadline to get him into the Hagerstown?
I'd say, I don't want to overpromise, but
Sure,
I'd say
yeah.
it could probably be done in 2 weeks if somebody really worked on it full time. Like
Okay.
you spend all week long interviewing employers and neighbors and references, those sorts of things, and simultaneously scheduling voice dress and
Okay.
psychological and medical and all that.
All right. When do you anticipate having made the decisions, you and Commissioner Grover, whomever?
Well, actually, so we met with Mr. O'Brien this morning, Lieutenant Seitz and I, and of course I spoke with Commissioner Grove before the meeting. For one candidate, it depends on what his incoming salary would be as to whether he can basically, make that change. And that will tell us a lot about whether he's going to proceed or not. So I'd say by the end of the month, we would really know, definitely know. Probably 2 weeks from now, we'll have a much better picture at the latest,
Okay.
I'd say.
There are 3 individuals that have to go through academy and 2 that are transferring. So one has been out for a little bit, so they have to do like a 5-week course, not necessarily the full 7 months that academy is or 8 months. But that one individual, because they have experience, would come in a little bit higher than the new recruits.
I'd say to our credit to the mayor and council, the administration, all of us that, I mean, he's basically told people, but you know, he used to work here, he wants to come back, so I take that as very positive that he wants to come back
Yeah, I
along
agree.
with somebody else who's come back to us, so that's a good thing.
I agree totally. All right, we on that? All right, next, this is kind of a staffing update, I guess, but we separated it out. Item 4C.
So we had a couple of conversations about what to do about the dam keeper position once Mark retires, and he is retiring in 3 weeks.
June 30. Okay.
So one of the issues that we talked about is basically anytime anything happens up there, Hayden has to also be there. So the dam keeper's there for emergencies, but Hayden eventually has to show up and help out as well. So we talked about having Hayden double as the dam keeper. It would save us some money on salary. That would normally go to that individual. It's a benefit for Hayden. He would have the house because that's where he would stay. But we do want to make sure that everything's on the up and up because technically the dam keeper is in Hayden's area. So we have a meeting with the Ethics Commission on the
Next week, right?
just so that we get their input, so we can report out to you all what their finding was too, before any decisions are made. But if you have any questions, now would be the.
Are there any emergencies that might occur that, like if nobody's there on site, like would be a problem?
The only, Patrick and I actually talked about this, the only one that we foresaw possibly popping up would be if I'm away on vacation or something and there's a significant rain event where there could be an overflow. But I talked to MES about it, and MES said they would be willing to just cover,
Okay.
because they're there every day anyways too for doing checks for their telemetry.
Okay.
Okay. So the ethics meeting next week, it's after our meeting though, right?
No, it's before.
Oh,
It's the 17th, our meeting's the 18th because we had to move it.
right, that's right.
Because
Our
you
meeting's
guys
on
got
Thursday.
it.
Okay, so by the time of our meeting, we will know what they, okay.
Yeah.
I'm with you now. All right. Anything else on that?
No.
Yeah, we'll wait and see what they say, but I don't see any problems on our end with it.
Yeah, I tried to run scenarios in my head to just see if there would be any difficulty. It just seems like a good solution.
And we would be able to take some of that money and reinvest in the house that's there because it needs some renovation. We'd be able to buy some equipment for the individual that's living there because Mark, I think, has been using some of his own equipment and things like that because he's been there for 30 years or so.
That is actually a good question to bring up to this group. And then, I don't foresee it being an issue, but his tractor, one of his larger tractor, he asked me, hey, would the city want to buy this off of me? I can't take it with me to Midlothian. And I said, well, I'll have to ask, how much would you want for it? And he said, give me $400 and it's yours. Which, I was expecting $4,000. So, if that's something we're interested in, I assume it would just be as simple as a check request made out to Mark. But, instead of just buying it. So,
It's used mainly for.
brush hogging the spillways.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's used up at the dam.
Yeah.
One of the things is because Mark's been there forever, he's kind of just done things his
Yeah.
way. If we were to hire somebody new, if it wasn't Hayden and hire somebody new, we would have to supply those types of machinery to them. So the fact that we're saving on the salary allows us to kind of get caught up. So if it is after 5 years or so that Hayden steps away from that position or something like that, we'll be ready to bring something in.
And that's fine. And if he's willing to sell it to us for cheap like that, that's certainly better than buying a new one. But I just don't want us to be in the mindset of, okay, we're saving $40,000 on a salary, so we've got $40,000 to spend on something else.
Oh,
We
yeah,
could
no.
probably keep some of that money in the bank.
We had talked about having mayor and council decide on an amount to put aside for purchases or renovations, and the other stuff would be saved. So we'd save money every year.
And that would go into the water.
It would kick back into it would all come out of the Piney Surcharge Fund. So then it would just keep stacking in that
Okay.
fund, like we talked about, just building.
So Mark's salary
Right, yeah.
comes out of that Piney surcharge?
Yes, I think so.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that's fine. That might even help us get it paid off a month or two faster. Yeah, that's fine. All right, 4D, electric bikes.
So I just wanted to keep this on everybody's radar. I know we've been talking about it a good bit. At the Scoop, for those of you that were there were a couple people that had mentioned being concerned about electric bikes as well. So we have gotten feedback about this needing to happen. Are you gonna speak with MML, you and Greg?
Yeah, I think one of the workshops on the schedule for Monday or Tuesday is actually addressing this, because we're certainly not the only town dealing with it. And I think it's one of the workshops they have scheduled that day, so I'll be sure to attend that. And Cumberland has already worked on an ordinance that they've already passed, so Michael has an idea of what he's talking about, I guess. So we'll see what we bring back from MML, what we can talk with Michael on.
Do we have a confirmation from Rich on when the MDE meeting in MML is?
I have to look through some.
I'm gonna see him tonight. He's gonna be at McKay's thing tonight, so I'll ask him.
Because I will plan to go down just for that meeting and then come home.
Okay.
That's it. So if you have any suggestions?
Can I be in on that?
Sure.
Thanks.
Rich is setting it up. So.
Yeah, just make sure you tell me.
All right.
Excellent.
Anything else on bikes? Moving on to solar energy credit program.
So I wanted to give you an update with Solar on Earth. They did have some individuals going around talking to some of the residents. They did come get a permit before they did that to do it correctly. We did have some phone calls asking how things were. But the residential program is technically up and running. You can sign up for it right now on their website. We are going to work on getting it out through the water bill and up on the website here soon. I know we talked about the foundation doing something with the water bill as well. We have some time for the solar credit program, so I didn't know if there's a time you all think would be better.
They don't kick in until like March anyway. Right?
One kicks in December. I think that the 10% does and the 25% doesn't kick in until March or April. Yeah. So they're actually waiting for the solar projects to finish being built. So right now they're not actually producing the energy that they're going to give us credits for.
That's fine. Let the foundation go this month, and we can, because we don't have a flyer or anything ready yet.
I mean, we have their flyer, but yeah, I agree that we have time. So.
We did get an email from them saying that, I can't remember what it was about, they had mentioned donating some money to, something that the city does. I think they mentioned the rec department.
They did want to make a donation to the Parks and Rec department. They've done that for other municipalities that have helped.
Yeah, I think they said they were willing to do that.
Yeah,
so we do need to set up a meeting with me and Brian. And,
yeah.
See what the suggestion is and bring it to council.
Yeah, that's great. And it's free. That's the best part.
Yeah.
All right, next, kind of related to that is item 4F is the microgrid grant.
Alrighty.
So we have been going back and forth with this for about 3 years. Right? We haven't done an extension yet, right? So,
Right, yeah.
We partnered with an organization to help implement our microgrid. They have to do some of the planning. They were working on getting investors for us, but it hasn't made progress in about 3 years. We are not the only ones. Frostburg State University had a 3-year grant that they have since renewed. Allegheny College of Maryland had a grant that I think they have since renewed. Ours is up for renewal July 1. With that said, we have met the 3 institutions that and have decided that we don't think it's smart to continue with our current partnership. So we have to see if we can get an extension because we're kind of in a weird spot of we need to show a little bit of progress. And I don't know if dropping the partnership that we have and having an idea or meeting with another one is enough progress for them to renew it. But they did say that they've had other municipalities that have had successful partnerships and have their grids have put up microgrids, or their grants have put up microgrids. So we're reaching out to some of the other institutions or municipalities that we know have had grants with them and seeing who they've worked with and if they have any suggestions. But is there anything you want to?
I contacted St. John's about meeting, and I copied FSU and HCM also on that one. FSU has formally cut ties with Optimized Renewables. I also reached out to Mountain View Solar. I just got an email from them suggesting some dates for a meeting. imagine you would like to be in on those meetings. The ones I mentioned don't work for me, but I'll get back to them. I also looked at Keystone, I think it's called Keystone Power Holdings. They're the first company that I had contact with back in 2020. And at that time, Elizabeth said, well, there are going to be some programs rolled out from the state. Let's, kind of wait and see what that entails, and then optimize renewables. And so we never ended up completing anything with Keystone Renewables, but both Keystone Holdings, Power Holdings, both Keystone and Mountain View Solar do installations for governmental entities. So we have to find out, if they do something like a PPA, or if we can do something smaller that, $1 million plus maybe a little bit extra can cover, and we'd own it ourselves, which actually in the long run would be better, I think. So we'll find out more once we meet with them.
And part of the reason that we need a partner is that there is a good bit of match to this. So the partners that brought in some financing, they, been helping.
I think the $1 million grant doesn't require a match. I think the LGEM did, but I don't think this
LGEM
one.
required a big one. I thought the other one did as well. So
Yeah, we'll have
yeah,
to.
so we'll have to look at
Yeah, it's been a while.
So
Okay.
if there's no objection, we'll be letting them know that we're severing our partnership with them. Technically, it expires on July 1 anyways,
Okay.
just because that's the 3-year term. That's what our MOA is.
So we're just gonna let them know that we're not renewing it after
Yes,
July 1.
essentially.
All right. Anything else on that? All right. Looks like we're going to explore a grant, PRO housing grant.
Yeah, so the Pro Housing Grant is a federal grant. It is 5 to 15, 10 to 15 million.
5 to 10 million.
5 to 10 million. This grant is meant to, as it says, remove obstacles to housing. It is not just for low-income housing; it's also for moderate housing. It can be used for anything from doing studies to supporting individuals who are renovating buildings or purchasing new properties. There's a lot of things that it can do, and it's over the course of 6 years. It does include staffing, or you can write in staffing to help support the grant as well. So this was brought to us by Ashley Lane with the Housing Authority and
Jane Verity from Live Together Incorporated.
Live Together. Thank you. Those are the 2 individuals that have been working on the Cambridge project. So part of this would be also to help support the Cambridge project, but to do a lot more other things as well. We got it. We met for the first time, or once the RFP was out. We met once so far, and it was yesterday.
Met with.
Jane Verity and
Okay.
yeah.
I see. Okay.
So we are going to look into it. It's 107 pages as far as information about the grant application goes. So we have not gotten all the way through it yet. But we are going to look into it, and we'll come to Mayor and Council with a proposal by the next work session of what we'd like to do with it.
it's a $0 match.
Yes, which
Oh,
is
nice.
There's nothing.
Perfect.
It is CBDG, so there's a lot of requirements as far as that goes. But
Yeah, but we're used to that.
yes, and we're prepared for it. So
We're going to meet hopefully the first of next week to start funneling down what
yeah.
the idea is we want to.
So if
Bring
anybody
out
has any suggestions about how we want to remove obstacles to housing, especially for low and moderate income, please let us know. The Cambridge project is going to be a little bit different than originally planned. I think they'd come in and chatted with Mayor and Council at some point. We will bring them in again, but the university doesn't want to lease the building anymore. They want to sell it. So it may wind up being non-university property, and so we have to have a conversation about what that means for the city, that type of thing.
Okay.
Interesting.
All right. Moving on. The next 2 items are sort of related to each other, but not totally, so I guess we'll do them separately. They're 2 kind of additional requests for hotel motel funds, the Palace Theater and the Summer Lunchbox Program. So we'll do the theater first.
Yeah. So the Palace Theater is looking to upgrade their digital projection system and their sound system. It does cost about $80,000, which is honestly cheap for that kind of upgrade. One of the issues is because their projector is older, the new projectors have to be tied into Wi-Fi or something like that to be able to give permission to show digital content, because they don't always send film anymore, or
It's in a
even a
file.
CD, or,
Nothing's on film anymore.
yeah, so they've been having trouble showing certain things because they don't have that ability. So part of it is that needs to be upgraded if they're gonna continue on, especially as copyright stuff gets tighter and tighter. So they are doing a handful of fundraisers, but had requested that, the city, contribute maybe $5,000 towards,
So on that, so they're doing a number of fundraisers between all summer long, between now and the end of summer. One of them, Chief Costello and I are actually participating.
bingo?
They're doing the bingo thing. We're going to go call bingo for a little bit.
Yes,
What are
sir.
some of the other? They just talked about it yesterday at Foundation.
the bingo was the only one that I think they mentioned.
There's some other stuff. There's like a big,
There's a yard sale. or
yeah, like a
something?
rummage sale, yard sale thing. There's
Outside of the theater. then they do
oh,
it under
the raffle. That's the one. That's the big one. Is they're selling. They're doing this raffle, I guess. They're selling tickets for it. But the prize is you get a private screening for you and up to 100 people to screen any movie you want. So you get basically your own private night at the Palace.
Cool.
So if
So
anybody knows 100 people.
right. So they've got some plans for things that they're going to do to raise money. And also yesterday at the Foundation for Frostburg meeting, when we sat in on that, they haven't spent any of the money that they earned, the Roots thing they have for Foundation. They haven't spent any money in that in a while. So they've got a ton of interest sitting in there. And at the Foundation last night, they agreed to match any contributions that come in for their fundraisers up to $25,000.
Yeah.
So that's going to get them more than
That's a
halfway. If
nice
they raise
chunk, yeah.
25, that'll be 25. That'll get them 50.
50, yeah.
So it's a great project.
One of the
I'm
things
excited about it.
that we've talked about, Patrick and I, we've kind of had some discussions about this, is we wanted to wait and see. We already obviously made a hotel appropriation to them for the current year we're in, but we wanted to wait and see after the fiscal year rolls over or when we get close to it, what additional revenue is in hotel, so we know if we have anything that we could potentially give.
Out of this year instead of waiting.
Out of this current year.
If I win that raffle, I'm gonna request Andrei Rublev. It's a 3.5-hour Russian movie.
Goodness gracious.
And invite all my enemies.
That one they may be able to do with their current projector. Well, it's a
You might need 20 people that can each lay down across 5 seats. So ideally, I mean, if it doesn't work out this way, that's fine, but ideally, we had talked about having, if we could decide what we're going to approve it at the meeting next week, so that on the 27th, at their first fundraiser, we could go in and present the donation on behalf of the city. Now, that's before the fiscal year ends, though.
No, but I should be able to,
If you can get us a projection
yeah,
of what you
because
think.
we've paid everything out,
Okay,
so whatever we brought in,
okay.
less that.
So maybe
Yeah,
the
I
next
should be
day or
able to-
two, if you could send
Yep,
out to
I'll
us
take a look
what
at
it is.
Okay.
If you think we can do 5,000, if you have a different recommendation for.
Okay.
Okay.
So in the a similar vein, when we were reviewing the hotel motel tax for the upcoming year, one of the items that was on there was the Frostburg Summer Lunchbox program. They had requested $5,000. We had a discussion about the purpose of hotel motel tax being more for economic development and tourism, and the Summer Lunchbox program didn't necessarily fit into that as far as the purpose of those funds. But at the same time, it's something that I think a lot of us felt was important. So we talked about finding another source of funds to give those individuals. So same thing, we're looking at the leftover funds from Hotel Motel this year that may have some additional funds that may have come in that's left over that we could, normally that would roll over into our budget if they're
Into the
allocated.
general fund, yeah.
And we had one in a group give us back $2,500.
Oh, yes, we should, I should have mentioned that on here. Actually, I just put a thank you note in there for fiscal 26 that we're getting ready to close out right now. There was an appropriation made to Camp Hope for $2,500. Well, last week in the mail, they sent the check back because they
Because
said,
they don't do it anymore.
yes, and there was a nice letter that said, we're extremely grateful for this. Thank you for doing this. However, we don't operate in Allegheny County anymore, so we don't feel that we need the money. We deserve the money, so here it is back. So they actually returned it.
Yeah, so we could reallocate some of those funds and find a little bit more if that's all right with everybody here. So that's it.
Okay. Next, what do you know about the water truck?
Did you talk about Lunchbox program?
We did.
That's what we just did.
You just zoned out.
I've been emailing about this depot bathroom. That's starting tomorrow, but water truck. So I more so just wanted to bring this to council because I need to know what direction to go in. Our water repair truck number 69, it's our large PTO driven truck with our generator and air compressor on it. It's at Shoes Diesel right now. It's been down for about the past month because we can't get an ECM for it. It's an electronic control module, which is sort of like a brain. Shu found one for us on eBay for $2,000 that I told him go ahead and order. We're not 100% sure if it's going to work. If it works, we bubblegum and duct tape that truck along. If not, I am without a water repair truck. Shu has one on the lot that would work for us, but trucks aren't cheap. It'd be about $100,000. We would trade in the old one towards it, see if I could shift some money around from different accounts to pay for it. But obviously we weren't anticipating having to buy this truck this year. So it's not necessarily budgeted for. I asked him what kind of options we had. He said he would be willing to do some kind of dealer financing for us, just because we're a good client. So that is an option. We could look at putting money down out of a budget we have a surplus in, and then do a payment plan. That is an option, sort of like a fleet lease. If it's something where you say, nope, we're not going to do it, just make do with what you've got, I understand that too. I would not love that, but I understand that we are trying to be fiscally responsible.
When's the new part coming in?
I think it arrives the end of this week, and then we would know by early next week if it's going to work.
Okay.
So I just kind of want your opinion on stuff before I go too far in any one direction.
If the ECM works, is the rest of the truck okay? So if the,
This truck is also 25 years old, I should say too. So
Okay.
all parts would be coming off.
So Ford or whoever, they just don't make it anymore.
Correct.
okay. Was this particular one from eBay for this? Okay. So
Is
that,
it like a refab? Or?
We think.
Okay.
We hope.
I mean, if it doesn't work, you can send it back.
I just want to know what direction to go in. Whether you want me to just try and find the money and pay for it outright, if I do have to go with the new truck, or we want to try and take money out of like distribution pipe expense, put $40,000
I mean, is it something we could?
Maybe put two auctions together and bring that in, you know.
Is it something that it's just a regular pickup that's fitted with the stuff on the back?
No,
isn't it?
this is like a tandem axle,
Oh, okay.
That's that square.
Right. Yeah, I've
Right.
seen it.
like a
yeah.
16,000 pound truck.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because it has a built-in PTO driven.
So it's not something that we could like just add to our enterprise lease. They probably wouldn't have that.
No, they don't carry that size. This is one we still own.
Mhm.
Yeah, I can
specialty.
get some options off of, and I keep saying shoot because he has one that would work for us on a lot, so I could turn it over quickly.
Is it a newer one?
It has 12,000 miles on it, so it's used, but it's a 2024, so
Yeah.
new.
I mean, I guess this is gonna work first and
Yeah.
then.
Yeah. If I told Shu, he said, "Do you want me to hold off on the repairs?" I said, "No, go ahead and do them, because I need a truck at some point, and $2,000 is cheaper than
Yeah.
$100."
Yeah.
Worth a shot compared to 90,000.
So what I'll do is I'll loop back with him. I'll pick his brain tomorrow on potential options. I'll just check and see if there's anything else in the area that would work, just to grab some quotes. And then I'll try and circle back with Patrick and council. It's kind of one of those things where it probably can't wait until next month if I don't have that truck for that long. So I'll try and circle back, via email with everybody. So, but yeah, I'll see what we have going. I just wanted to put it on your radar.
Alright. Yeah. Let us know as soon as he gets it in if it works.
And then, too, if it does work, it buys us time, but it's probably one of those things where we need to budget for
We
it.
can start looking at
Yeah.
getting it in for next year.
Yep.
Hopefully that's the case.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Anything else on that?
How much is the one at Shoe?
With the upfit we would have to do to it, it's 90% of the way ready, but we would have to put a few things on it, like strobe lights and an inverter for our pumps. It's at 111, and he said he would be able to do about 15 on trade for the old one.
Okay.
So that knocks it down to what, I call it 95. And then, how much of a payment plan we would want to do or whatever. So I think based on some of my budget numbers for the end of this year, I think we could afford to put down maybe 45 on it if I kind of pull from random budgets and put them together. And then I said, if we could do like a 1 or 2 year payment plan, what would that look like? It'd be about $2,000 a month, I think. So
if you keep it parked at the dam, could we pay with the Piney surcharge fund?
I don't think you'd want to keep it parked at the dam, that's not gonna do us any good.
Piney Surcharge is allowed to pay for things, it completely, totally by the book. Piney Surcharge is allowed to pay for things that benefit all of our customers who purchase water, including, the transmission mains that go to.
Right.
So this is to repair transmission mains. So yeah, actually you could. So some food for thought.
Maybe.
But yeah, there's that. Next would be,
This is you too, Ken?
how do you want to approach money for Cougar parking? I'm happy to do the design. I have the design done. I just need to know whether you still want to try to get a little bit of funding out of the Cougars, or we just want to say we'll handle it. If that's the case,
How much is it? It's like, it was under 10,000, wasn't it? Like
oh
7,500.
yeah, I'm thinking at most $4,000. But like, are we taking a little bit of that from the? Because it's still, my guys will do the labor, or Parks and Rec. Between my guys and Parks and Rec, we'll do all the labor. But I still have to buy material. I'm going to have to buy probably 25 ton of stone and some perforated pipe and probably one structure to sit over top of that spring that's there. So $4,000 would get us all the material we need.
I will talk to Brian tomorrow,
Okay.
because I think he and the representative from them are back on speaking terms now. So
Okay.
I will talk to Brian tomorrow and see if he can, if he thinks they would be amenable to that.
Yeah, like I said, I'm happy to throw some of my manpower at it too, just to get it done. My operators and my equipment, in conjunction with Brian's guys.
And we want, they're starting what, like August 1st?
Yeah.
So we want to get it done before that.
Yeah. No, it won't take very long. It's probably 1 week's worth of work.
Okay.
But yeah, now is July will be the time to do it when it's as dry as possible. So, yeah. So just let me know.
All right, I'll talk to Brian.
Cool.
Anything else on that?
Not on that. There are two things just to fill everybody in on. And Paris, I apologize, this didn't make it on the agenda. So Paris had come to us about updating the mural on Broadway. We were actually talking about doing the mural on the Pritchard Building as well, but as you all know, Pritchard Building has started renovating, so we didn't want to update something that they're going to tear down. So this is the updated version, and it would be adding in some things on just the lower half, correct, to kind of bring it back to life.
Yes, and also as a cost-saving measure to keep the total time down. The previous, most of you I'm sure were probably around in 2012. It took about 21 days. This would go up in 4 work days of 6 hours each, and it would just. And since because of color fading, distant objects are more blue. The fading of the top of the painting isn't an issue. So only the bottom would need to be renewed. And so it's specifically designed to be, I think propaganda is a crude word. To tell us the truth about Frostburg and the attractions that are in town. It's a very safe space. That's why I showed 2 women riding bikes together. It's also a very welcoming place, and there's plenty of nature. And the additional colors with the butterflies are so, just to add an extra splash of color. And also, let's see, is there anything else? Well, unlike the previous mural, this mural would be planned to go up exactly as it is shown here, by proportion. So pretty much what you see is what we would get. And I realize that there are several concerns that are, a new lease would have to be signed with the building. Of course, because it's not owned by the city. And I believe that the previous one expired. It was for 15 years. It was back in 2012, so it's about to expire. And also, any additions that might be suggested by anyone, anything that might fit. Everyone was mentioning the palace. I think it would be interesting to see the palace looking up back there. But it's sort of a nice sort of community project. What I presented to Pat earlier was budgeted somewhere around $2,500, because that included $1,800 that would be paid to myself, the artist, for 24 hours of work at a discounted rate of $75 per hour, and include 2 artist assistants that would be selected by the city to sort of learn. It would be $20 per hour for the 24 hours. That would submit video documentation directly to the city, and to Frostburg First, and to the Parks and Rec department. The paint would be included in the cost of that because I always find that I have extra paint. So the only supplies that would be needed would be the scaffolding, which would be locally supplied, but would be able to be much lower than the previous scaffolding, negating the need for safety equipment. And so it could be lower and broader. There you go. So that's sort of a suggestion. And if you haven't seen the previous, it will take me a minute to pull it up, but I can show you the sample of the mural on Broadway. I mean on Main Street.
Oh, yeah, so,
Or I can just pass it around. I don't need this.
well, and I'm gonna send them all of this information as well, so. But so I will send you, both the designs and the costs that, Paris has supplied to us. One of the things I know we had talked about at some point is, especially with, two commissioners going on, I don't know if this is something that you wanna tackle in the June session, or if you wanna wait till the new council members are in place, so, if anybody has any suggestions about that, just reply back to me. And the only other thing I have, and this is just, we've talked about this before, I just wanted to show everybody, this is going to be our new website. So it has a little bit clearer of a look, it's a little bit more organized, a little more modern. It has more things you can click on the front page to get you places a little bit quicker. This is going to be rolling out June 25th, I believe is the date that we selected. So one of the things that we also will be able to do, for those of you that ever signed up for Cumberland's alert system, is this does come with included text message alerts as well. For up to 500 people to sign up, so we have to talk about what that means. I don't think we're up to 500, but we do have, I think, 300 or 400 people. I don't know if it's per type of alert or if it's just individuals that signed up. So if I signed up for all of them, am I one person or six? So we may have to look at some of those types of things, but we'll keep people posted on this. I'll make sure Mayor and Council get a copy to the back end list or the back end link for this, so you can see it. You can run through it, see if there's anything you want to add or anything like that. But this will be in a little while. It'll be after our next council meeting. So.
Couple quick questions. Did we decide about the thing in Cumberland, the parade in Cumberland at the end of the month?
Yes, Commissioner Grove and Commissioner Forsyth are on board, so I believe you guys are all signed up.
Perfect, okay. Just again, so that it's on the record, a reminder that the meeting next week is on Thursday instead of Tuesday. We moved it, and there's going to be a very brief closed session at the end of the public session so that we can do an annual review for the city administrator per his contract.
I will not be at that meeting. I am traveling. I'm going to be there in my state.
Okay, perfect. All right. Anything else before we adjourn? The time is 4:42. Meeting is adjourned.